Hey guys, what's up? It's Chelsea. Welcome back. So today's video is another story time video. But this time I'm going more into detail about what's going on in the story. And as you can tell from the thumbnail, it's involving the musical Rent, which is my all-time favorite musical, by the way. And the musical has something to do with the story. Before you say anything, it's nothing bad. Nothing super crazy happened. Aside from my emotions and my mental well-being, being affected by this. Anyway, here's another story time. I'll try not to ramble. I'll try my best not to ramble. I doubt this is going to happen. Anyway, let's get into it. Where do I begin with this? Because this is going to be a long one. Where do I begin? I guess we could start by saying that when did I find out that my local theater was doing Rent? I think it was back in maybe sometime last November, maybe? I don't remember. But let's just go last November. So I think around last November, they announced their 2022 season at my local theater. The list of shows coming out for the year. And I actually was in one of the shows the shows they did earlier this year. And that was Footloose back in March. I auditioned for that in January. And honestly, with that, I wasn't going to audition. My friend Madison definitely convinced me. Because she knew I wanted to audition as Mimi Marquez from Rent. That's my dream role. It really is. And she goes, that'd be a good practice for you. It'd be a good way for you to get back up on stage after such a long time. Because here's the thing. The last show I did before Footloose was pretty much almost 8 years ago now, actually, which is absolutely crazy to think about. So Footloose was my first show in maybe like 7 or 8 years. Footloose was my first show. Basically, last show I did was back in 2015. Basically, I took a huge break from performing because I was focused on my school. I was focused on school, graduating, all that fun stuff. Anyway, so that's how I got into Footloose, thanks to Madison. And, I took a break. I did audition for the next show for that same season for this year, which was Chicago. I did not get in, but that's okay. So then I'm like, what happened was, after the Chicago auditions, I waited for the phone call to see if I got in. And unfortunately, I did not. But that's totally okay. You win some, you lose some. So then that's when I'm like, I gotta push myself even harder if I want to at least guarantee a spot in Rent. If not Mimi, then definitely someone in the ensemble. And, what was it? So I kept practicing. I kept practicing the singing. I kept studying the character, practicing the songs, practicing the lyrics, practicing the character. When you think of Mimi Marquez, you think of like this edgy kind of character, more edgy, which I'm definitely not edgy by any means. I'm definitely not the edgy, definitely not super edgy. I can be outgoing, but not like super outgoing where it leads me to bad decisions. Anyway, Mimi Marquez has been a dream role ever since I saw the movie Rent. That's actually how I got introduced to the musical. Because honestly, I had no idea it was a musical at first. I didn't even know it existed until my dad saw the movie. And then he's like, this is a Chelsea movie. So he showed it to me. I fell in love. I fell in love with the movie. I'm actually watching it right now as I'm talking. When I'm clearly rambling. I am so sorry. There's just a lot to be said about the story. So, Mimi Marquez, I'm like, practice every song, practice every scene, practice every note, blah, 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 blah. I can keep going what I was practicing. I practiced the songs over and over. I've not only seen the movie 50 times at least. Yeah, I guess you can say it's a little obsessive, but it's such a good story. Anyway, I've seen the movie at least 50 times. I've watched the show live. Literally live. Back in 2020 before, everything shut down. So I was very grateful I got to see it before, you know, the world shut down. And let's just say that, well, I'm like, this is a role I want to play. Definitely out of my comfort zone for that role. But you know what? It's something I would love to do. So I kept practicing every song me was in. Everything about the story. I was basically like studying the character so much. And with the Chicago auditions, after not getting in, and I think the reason was because they were only able to have but so many people. I think at least 50 people, over 50 people auditioned for Chicago, which is absolutely insane for a community theater production. At least over 50 try to audition. It'd be a little bit, and honestly, the stage at my local theater is semi-big. So I don't think 50 people would fit on that stage. Plus with the band and whatever the case may be. Regardless, I did not get in. And well, that just led me to push myself even harder than I already was. And that's where things started to go downhill. So as time went by, I kept practicing and practicing and practicing like I had been, but this time just 10 times harder. And let's just say that, well, I might have overdone it. Like, not to the point where I'm, like, physically exhausted, to the point where I was mentally draining myself. Here's the thing. I do deal with anxiety. I deal with really bad anxiety. And let's just say that, well, I was pushing myself to the point where I was having, you know, mental breakdowns, panic attacks, over an audition that hasn't even happened yet. And that's not a good thing to do. And a lot of people, like my family, my boyfriend, and a couple of my friends, they're like, you like, don't push yourself too hard. You deserve a break at some points. Which, yeah, I did take breaks, but then after that, I'm just like, gotta keep going. So, you know, it was a lot. And I honestly felt like I almost ruined my relationship with my boyfriend because of it. And that should not have happened in the first place. Because it got to the point where I was so stressed out. I had a really bad anxiety attack. I don't know what I was saying. Like, everything was just pouring out at once. There was no filter. I couldn't collect my thoughts. I was just like, it was bad. For those of you who have panic attacks, trust me, I know. I've been there. I've been there many times. It happens to the best of us. It happens to a lot of people. And at one point I said to my boyfriend, if I remember correctly, I did say, I just want a break from everything, including him, which I should not have said that. And thank God he stuck around. He came by to see me later on in the beginning of the week. I told him, I'm like, it was just overall mess. I was so stressed out about the audition that I could have lost my boyfriend because of it. And that would not have been a good thing for me. And I would have hated myself for it. My boyfriend's a good guy. He really, really is. And he's actually the main guy who stuck around no matter what happened. All the guys I've dated, they're just kind of like, yeah, you're on your own. Not quite like that, but you know. No, he's actually the one who stuck around. Because I feel like if I acted the way I did in front of the other guys I've dated, they would have just left me. My boyfriend came to talk to me, and he forgave me. And I'm grateful for that, because honestly, I would have if he broke up with me because of it, or if we broke up and the relationship ended, I know it would have been my fault. So, yeah. We're still good, me and my boyfriend. We're still dating. We actually just hit our 3rd year mark. We just had our 3rd year anniversary back in May. So, yay. That's not the point of the story. Anyway. So, another day went by. I wouldn't say it was a full-blown panic attack. It was more of like a little mental breakdown. My mom knew something was off, because she knew I wanted to audition so bad. And then she recommended I probably shouldn't audition if it was going to get to this point. Which I did take that into thought, in consideration. I did. I listened to her. And, well, let's just say that it wasn't an easy decision to make, but I felt like it needed to be made. I decided not to audition. And I feel like I'm going to regret not auditioning. And I remember telling all my friends about it. And I'm grateful for everyone, like my work family, my actual family, my boyfriend's family, and my Footloose family. I am grateful for everyone that's reached out, for the love and the support, whoever, like, came to message me, called me, whatever the case may be. Whoever's got in touch with me, I am grateful for every single one of you to make sure I was good. And, yeah, so I decided not to audition. I feel like I'm going to regret not doing that, though. Only time will tell. But it was definitely not an easy decision to make. It really, really wasn't. However, it needed to be done. Sometimes in life, you just got to make those tough decisions that are not easy to make. Anyway, basically, sum up the story, because I feel like I'm just rambling a little bit. I feel like I was letting this consume my life over an audition. There was no guarantee I was going to get in. No guarantee that I was, like, going to be guaranteed a spot. If it was going to be like the Chicago auditions, then there's no guarantee. You never know. And, so I feel like if I did audition, if I was not, accepted into the show, is that the correct term? I think so. Accepted. We'll just go with that. Then I feel like that would have stressed me out way more. So it took me a couple days to decide, but then I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. I can't audition for the show if this is how it's going to affect me. My mental health and my mental well-being and my family and friends, they come first. I wasn't prioritizing myself for that at all. I wasn't prioritizing myself. The audition was on the main thing on my brain. Not my health, not my mental well-being. I shouldn't say my family and friends weren't on my number one, but they did become part of, like, I shouldn't say a second thought either. That's a bad term. They're always on my mind. And basically the show was on my number one spot in my brain. And it shouldn't have been. And when I told my friends, they're like, "You're not auditioning." I'm like, I'm not. I'm not auditioning. And then I told them why. I made a really long statement about it. I forget which app I posted on. It was one of my social media apps. I posted a long statement for my friends to see. Because I don't think it was just going to take too long to message everybody. Because it was like literally a novel. It was a novel. Anyway. So, am I sad a little bit that I didn't get to be a part of the show I wanted to be of? Wait, that came out weird. Am I sad that I didn't get to be in a show that I wanted to be a part of? Well, yeah, of course I'm sad. Am I going to regret doing that? Not doing the show? And honestly, I feel like I'm going to regret it, but only time will tell. Do I feel like it was the best decision? Yes. I do feel like it was the best decision for me, only because, well, it was taking over my life when it shouldn't have. The show is only gonna... Here's the thing with the community theater shows. It goes on for like 2 weekends, and then that's it. Basically, after those 2 weekends, then that's it. Other than that, my family and friends and myself should always come first. They're my main priority. I'm my own main priority. Basically, the moral of the story is try to prioritize yourselves and, prioritize yourselves, your loved ones. Do what's best for you, no matter how hard it may be. Holy moly, that was a lot. That was a lot in 8 minutes. But yeah, for those of you who have dealt with situations like this, where you want to do something so bad, but your mental health and well-being, are kind of like a little on the rockier side, kind of like me, then just know you're not alone. I am with you 100%. And yeah. Long story short, just, prioritize yourselves. Focus on the main things in life. Focus on your loved ones, whatever else is really important to you, whatever else is going on in your life. Stuff like what I went through with the community theater, that should have been second on my mind, or at least somewhere in the back. Not all the way in the front. So the most important things, basically prioritize them to the front of the list. The not so important things, prioritize to the back of the list. And, just remember that. And always, if you ever need anything, just reach out to your loved ones, family, friends, whatever. Don't keep things bottled up. And honestly, obviously, do not work yourself to exhaustion, both physical and mentally. Because honestly, it's not good. With me doing that show, with auditioning, stressing, I was honestly getting to the point where I was mentally drained. And that's something you never want to feel. Anyway, long story short, just prioritize yourself. Listen to the people that care about you. That was something I was having a hard time doing. I mean, I'm still working on that I'm still working on that. Listen to what other people have to say. Take their word for thought. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm sorry if I was rambling. There was a lot to be said. Anyway, if you want more story times from me, then let me know. And also, give this video a thumbs up if you want more. Hit the subscribe button if you want more content like this. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. And check me out on my social media accounts down below, which my usernames will be down there as per usual. So yeah. Anyway, love you guys. Love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.